Well, let me shift gears a little bit to the political stakes here. This is obviously a big question for everybody running for office in the coming campaign, and the ad wars have already begun to heat up. And I want you to take a look at an ad by a group called Freedom's Watch. It's a bunch of White House supporters fronted by Ari Fleischer, the former White House press secretary, and they are running a series of very tough, emotional ads. Take a look.
I know what I lost. I also know that if we pull out now, everything I've given and sacrificed will mean nothing. They attacked us, and they will again. They won't stop in Iraq. We are winning on the ground and making real progress. It's no time to quit. It's no time for politics.
Senator Webb, first, as a veteran, how do you answer that soldier?
Well, I think that the United States military is a mirror of our society. We have people in the military who feel politically one way. We have military people who feel the other way. And it's our responsibility as leaders to put the political objectives into place that fit the country. When I was a Marine in Vietnam, I had pretty vague political ideas, but I knew that I loved my country, that I wanted to serve my country, and that I wanted to take care of the Marines that were under my responsibility. And so my feelings about having served in a war, and I think most American military people, when you look at poll after poll, relate to their feeling of service, and we leave political views aside. Now, in terms of what the message in there was, that is a very deceptive message. When they say they attacked us, the Iraqis didn't attack us. This is what this administration has been doing since '01. We were attacked by Al-Qaeda. Iraq was not directly threatening us. The best way for us to have dealt with international terrorism and with Al-Qaeda was not to have gone into Iraq, but to maintain the best strategic maneuver forces in the world out where they could go after international terrorism. Al-Qaeda didn't come to Iraq until we went to Iraq.
Well, let me ask Senator Cornyn on this subject of public support. How long can the president sustain a war that the American public no longer supports?
Well, Terry, the message of that soldier that was in that ad was consistent with the message that I've heard from soldiers I've visited at Walter Reed Army Medical Center in D.C., Brooke Army Medical Center in San Antonio, and as recently as yesterday at the Darnell Army Hospital at Fort Hood right here in Central Texas. The morale is high. They understand the importance of their mission, and they want the politicians basically to allow them to do what they do well, in which the National Intelligence Estimate says we are succeeding at, and that is to make Iraq safer, not just for the Iraqis, but because by denying a failed state to Al-Qaeda and other terrorists in Iraq, we make America safer. That ought to be the ultimate test of any policy, and I support the surge because I believe the surge is helping to make us safer, giving us a chance of success rather than a guaranteed failure, which a rapid redeployment or withdrawal would guarantee.
Well, you mentioned the National Intelligence Estimate, which does say there has been security progress on the ground. And this week, some of the commanders on the ground are speaking up about this notion of withdrawal. General Rick Lynch, who's head of the 3rd Infantry Division, got 15,000 troops in control of areas south of Baghdad, came out and said it is not the time to withdraw. Listen to what he had to say.
If soldiers were to leave, coalition soldiers were to leave, having fought hard for that terrain, having denied the enemy their sanctuaries, what would happen is the enemy would come back. He'd start building the bombs again, he'd start attacking the locals again, and he'd start exporting that violence into Baghdad, and we would take a giant step backwards.
So whatever security